The smartest person in the room is often the quietest, not because they have nothing to say, but because they have already imagined how the conversation will end. They notice the patterns, they recognize the performance, they hear what people say, and they notice what those people carefully avoid saying. So while everyone else connects through simple conversation, the intelligent person searches for something deeper, something honest, something meaningful, something real, and when they cannot find it, they choose silence. This is why intelligence can sometimes feel like isolation, not because intelligent people are better than everyone else, but because they often experience the world differently. Intelligence is not just knowing more facts. It is often the ability to notice connections others miss. A small change in someone's voice, a hesitation before an answer, a smile that disappears too quickly. They notice when someone is uncomfortable. They notice when someone is pretending. And they notice when a friendship is slowly changing. Most people can ignore these signals. The intelligent mind often cannot. It keeps analyzing. It keeps comparing. It keeps asking what everything means. And eventually, every interaction becomes exhausting because they are not only participating in the conversation, they are studying it at the same time. Most relationships begin with small talk. What do you do? Where are you from? What did you do this weekend? These questions are normal, but for some intelligent people, they feel painfully predictable. They do not want to know what you did. They want to know why it mattered to you. They want to know what you fear, what you secretly want, what keeps you awake at night. But those conversations require trust, and trust requires time. So intelligent people often become impatient with the surface. They leave before the relationship has time to become deeper, and then they wonder why nobody truly knows them. Intelligent people often have a rich inner world. They can spend hours inside their own thoughts, building ideas, imagining futures, replaying conversations, creating entire worlds nobody else can see. This can make solitude feel comfortable, sometimes more comfortable than being misunderstood. Being alone means they do not have to simplify themselves. They do not have to explain every strange idea. They do not have to defend every unusual interest. They do not have to pretend to enjoy what everyone else enjoys. Solitude becomes a place where they can fully exist, but comfort can quietly become a prison. The longer they stay alone, the harder connection feels. And eventually, solitude stops being a choice. Intelligent people often expect a lot from themselves, and sometimes they expect just as much from everyone else. They value honesty, consistency, curiosity, and emotional depth. When someone lies, they remember it. When someone becomes inconsistent, they notice. When someone repeatedly avoids responsibility, they lose respect. So they cut people off quickly, sometimes too quickly. They confuse one mistake with a permanent pattern. They expect people to understand lessons immediately, but human beings learn slowly. They fail. They repeat mistakes. They grow at different speeds. And sometimes intelligence forgets to leave room for humanity. Many intelligent people learned early to rely on themselves. They solved their own problems. They taught themselves what nobody explained. They became comfortable without asking for help. At first, this independence feels powerful. Nobody can disappoint you when you need nothing from them. Nobody can reject you when you never become vulnerable. Nobody can leave you if you never let them get close. But protection has a price. The same walls that block pain also block connection. You cannot be deeply known without being seen. And you cannot be seen while hiding behind competence. Sometimes saying, "I need help," requires more intelligence than solving everything alone. The deepest loneliness is not having nobody around you. It is feeling invisible while surrounded by people. Intelligent people are often praised for what they can do, but rarely asked how they actually feel. People come to them for answers, for advice, for solutions, but few people ask what happens when the strong person gets tired. So they keep performing strength. They joke, they help, they say everything is fine, and slowly, everyone believes them. That is how someone can be admired by everyone and understood by no one. But intelligence itself does not create loneliness. The problem begins when intelligence becomes an identity. When being right becomes more important than being connected. When understanding people replaces actually trusting them. When observation replaces participation. When high standards become an excuse to avoid vulnerability. You cannot think your way into real connection. Connection requires risk. the risk of being misunderstood, the risk of looking imperfect, the risk of caring more than the other person does, and the risk of being left. Intelligence can predict every possible ending, but prediction is not the same as truth. If you recognize yourself in this, do not search for more people. Search for more honesty. Tell someone what you usually hide. Admit when you do not know the answer. Ask for help before you desperately need it. Stay in the conversation a little longer. Give people time to move beyond the surface. Do not test people without telling them the rules, and do not expect others to read your mind. Say what hurt you, say what you need, and let people surprise you. Some people are deeper than their first conversation. Some people need safety before they reveal who they are. And some people understand you in ways intelligence cannot measure. Maybe intelligent people are not always alone. Maybe they simply become good at hiding. They hide behind knowledge, behind independence, behind high standards, behind the belief that nobody will understand them anyway. But nobody can understand the version of you they never meet. You must let someone see the unfinished version, the confused version, the emotional version, the version that does not have everything under control. Because intelligence may help you understand the world, but vulnerability is what allows the world to understand you. And sometimes the bravest thing an intelligent person can do is stop analyzing the connection and finally allow themselves to experience it.